Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, we are 4 months into 2025, and I feel like I haven't really shared a lot of art this year. Um, it's been tough trying to find time to be creative, and I don't know about anybody else out there, but some of the art goals that I set for myself have been suffering greatly this year due to a lot of things, but I'm not going to come here and give excuses. So, with that, we're just going to get into it and talk about this thing. This is my current sketchbook. As you can see, it is beat to all hell. This is actually the Illo sketchbook, and I was super excited to try this out. Except when I tried this out, it was 2 years ago. I started this sketchbook in May of 2022. Yeah, and we have not finished it. I can't really explain why. There are a couple of things that I don't like about this sketchbook. Um, and there are a few things that I've been trying to figure out as to what I want to do. I definitely want to finish it because that is one of the goals that I set for myself this year. Um, but before I go ahead and take you on a tour of this, I'm going to explain to you what I want to do. So, I started this sketchbook in May and I want to finish it in May. So, that is the short term goal that I am setting for myself to finish this much of a sketchbook in a month. Now, in order to do that, I feel like this isn't one of my best sketchbooks. So, in order to do that, I thought I would go ahead and take you on a journey of my last completed sketchbook because it was actually one of my favorites. It is obviously thicker than a Snicker, and I filled this up with ease. So, with that, we're just going to go ahead and get into it, and I'm going to take you on a sketchbook tour of my last completed sketchbook, which is sketchbook number 16. So, this is the Ohuhu marker pad. It's no secret that I love Ohuhu. I don't have a problem. I don't know what you're talking about. I can stop anytime I want to. But they've come out with a lot of good products. So if you're looking for a good marker-based sketchbook, I highly recommend the Ohuhu. It is my intention that once I am done with the Illo, I'm definitely going back to the Ohuhu. There's just something about it that I liked a lot better. And as we can see here, I finished this sketchbook. It took me 2 years, but I finished it. And I started, let's see here, in March of 2020, the year that shall not speak its name, to March 29th, 2022. So, what better way to celebrate the end of March than to just kind of give you a tour of my sketchbook? Now, I never used to finish a lot of my sketchbooks. It wasn't until I started watching Drawn with Waffles. God, I miss her. Um, I hope she's doing okay. I really do. Um, to where I just started to really think about my sketchbook as an expression and a thing to kind of like to work towards. And of course, we have to start off this sketchbook by doing some Sailor Moon. I actually turned these into stickers, drawing out the concepts and definitely leaning into heavily sketching with pen. Um, it was something that I was just starting to try out, and it really helped my art for the better. But I definitely liked the way that this paper absorbed the color more. I mean, look at that vibrancy. Not the best finished work that I've ever done, but still super cute. I was really also enjoying just kind of sketching and enjoying playing with color because I had been afraid of color for a very long time. Um, And if you look, if like maybe I'll give a tour of like my earlier sketchbooks, but my earlier sketchbooks have zero color in them. And I was afraid of color for a long time. So with my more recent sketchbooks in the last few years, I have been allowing myself to play with color and let myself, okay, be with mistakes. This is Andromeda. It's one of my magical girl OCs that I've worked on for a very, very long time. I was having so much fun doing this sketch. Uh, and then I was playing around with drawing some tieflings, uh, because I'm obsessed with pink, duh, for the most part, and Steven Universe. One of the things that I really like about sketchbooking and like going through other artists' sketchbook, it's kind of like a language a little bit. You can kind of see people's thought processes and what they were into at the time. And if it isn't obvious at the time, this is when Demon Slayer was like at its peak. I really did like Nezuko a lot. And then here, this one is actually super special because this was actually one of my first TikTok videos where I went and was talking about my coloring process. And as you can see down here, I had all my planning going on for skin tones, for hair. And yeah, I was super proud of this at the time. I've actually reworked the design of this character a few times, and I'm actually in the process of redesigning her again for to do an update on my coloring process because it has drastically changed since I've last done this, obviously in 2020. And of course, the witch obsession never stops. Was, am, still love witch hats, love drawing them. They're so fun to me. Um, I was really kind of exploring what I could do with color here. As we can see, I bought a lot of Ohuhu markers. Then we went into Mermay of 2020, which was a lot of fun too. Again, trying to limit my color palette as much as I can. I don't know why, I'm obsessed with this little fishbone hair clip. I think it's great. I love it. Then I really did like the colors that I chose, and I ended up, as you can see here, turning this into a sticker. You probably can't see it because it's a super glittery sticker, but I actually took this and I turned it into a sticker, and I was like super happy with how that turned out. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Playing around with different angles and just more color. Doing more mermaid. Obviously, I was super into drawing with waffles at the time because um she did these little blub fishes, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and do a blub fish. So I tried to do blub fishes and was really kind of letting myself explore different body types with the sketchbook. And then, of course, if anyone remembers that art challenge from TikTok, drawing this iconic Sailor Moon moment. Oh my god, colors. There's something about this paper that just makes the markers, it just pops, and I love it. Still, um, a lot of technical things in this drawing. It's not necessarily skill wise my favorite or the most accurate, but the color job, yeah, I'm still a fan of the color job, unapologetically. More Mermay, which is weird because I actually like my planning little papers more than I do the actual finished product. But again, trying, look at this gradient. Look at that gradient. It's just, it's flawless. I love that gradient. Again, can't recommend this paper enough. Again, more mermaid sketches, just trying to do freebies, and then I was trying to design my own waterbender for a roleplay activity that I wanted to do. This is Rika, and she was the waterbender. Um, and I was really trying to go for, I don't know, I was just really trying to go for this big bulky babe vibe. I am obsessed with big bulky babe. Um, Not really much. There are a lot of pages in here that I absolutely love. Like again, I love these planning phases. Again, because I was just really playing a lot with color. Um, but this was my initial sketch idea that I sketched on a random piece of paper and I kind of pasted it in here. And then I was planning to draw this demon girl, which obviously is going to be here on our next page. And this was actually the first time too that I actually did a widespread, but look at that. She came out gorgeous. And I was actually really proud of this like lace detailing. Um and like this right here, which is weird just to get that shadow or shading. Was really my letting myself just kind of experiment and explore and see what I could do traditionally. Um just to kind of again get it out there. And of course, just kind of just more of my Sona. And here we go into Halloween. Uh, these were some of my favorite sketches as well. Just developed. I turned this into a sticker as well. Best Ghoul Friends. Um, and I wanted to develop like a Halloween cheer squad. So this is also one of my favorite spreads. Um, I had Frankie, Vela, and I don't think I ever named the witch, but um, she was definitely going to be my mean girl. I was just kind of going for like that, I don't know, that 1950s kind of Halloween cheerleader vibes. And I actually fell in love with this character a lot. This is actually, again, another one of my favorite illustrations, just because I was like, oh, Halloween in summer. I love that idea. I love the colors. I wish I had this bathing suit. And again, weirdly enough, I was just really proud of like this little spot right here. Um, yeah, so I love this a lot. My intention was to turn this into a print at some point. Um, I don't know if it's too old now to just kind of like still turn into a print, or maybe I can recreate it or redraw it better. Did another one with Vela, my little vampire with braces. I love her because she's so nerdy and so gorgeous. But again, this wasn't my favorite. It's super cute. I do love the pose, but this is definitely one that I definitely want to rework. Um, just because I didn't like the legs. We like things and we don't like things. And oh gosh, yes, of course. This is when uh Has Been Hotel just kind of took its chokehold on me when the pilot came out. Of course, we love Cherry Bomb, we love Angel Dust, and drew human versions of them, had to color them. Actually, really was happy how um, Cherry Bomb came out. I thought she looked fantastic. And then I did some wedding designing here. Yes, this was for my friend's wedding. So I designed their logo. Actually, I have it here. She was able to turn them into little pins as favors for her wedding. And so, super cute. Still one of my um prouder designs. I did this, I ended up doing it digitally and it came out super cute. Super cute. Again, more Has Been Hotel, but more so, I love this page. This page will always be one of my favorites. This is a print character that I was developing um, for one of my characters for a webtoon idea that I had at some point. More to come on that later because I haven't given up on him. I love his design. Um, I love this expression especially. I just love that. So great. Um, this was me breaking stuff down to see how exactly I could draw bodies. Um, Not every page is a banger, you know what I mean? This was one of the projects that, work in progresses that I didn't end up finishing. It was supposed to be another Halloween beach um sketch with my witch character. I was really obsessed with I loved the inflatable pineapple I did. So I wanted to do an inflatable beach ball, like pumpkin jack-o'-lantern kind of thing. It just never came to fruition. And remember how I told you guys that I reworked, um, redesigned that character that for my first TikTok. So just kind of going back here, I here we go. And this was the original, and this was our my rework version. Love this whole sketch right here. I was in love with the hair. Um, but things kind of sort of shifted recently. And again, talk about that a little later, but I named her Arwen because I thought that was a really pretty name. And I think she looks so cute right here. I just love her little leg pose. Um, she's so sweet. And here we have more of Arwen and Ender. And we can see here that I blocked out the prince's uh, color palette. I love his horns. I love his hair. And I love this right here. They're so cute. They're so adorable. Ah, love it. And again, more Halloween stuff because if you're not obsessed with Halloween, like, are you even alive? So wanted to just kind of do something a little bit different, still developing that cheer squad. And this was gonna be my little shy jack-o'-lantern girl. Before kind of designing some other things, playing around with color here. I always liked how this came out. It was really nice. These were sketches that I did on stream at one point, people requesting. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Back to my little jack-o'-lantern girl. I think she's so cute. Love the colors in this. I could have done a little bit more to the skirt, but I was trying to do like a lineless. And then I have here Raven from Teen Titans because he is iconic. Starfire from Teen Titans, again playing with more color and just ideas and just kind of free sketching. And I really wanted to do the orange gradient of Starfire's hair. More DC of Ivy and Harley because they are iconic. Again, not every page is a banger. More of Ender and Arwen because I think they are adorable. And then trying to do different things. It was Rika that was playing around with a new marker set that I got. Not that I needed them at the time, but hey, they came. Ohuhu had come out with a pastel box, and what was I gonna do? Not buy it? I don't know if Ohuhu's watching, but you need to like get, they need to like, they had me in a chokehold, okay? And then I did a character design on TikTok at one point, and I had people who were watching the live help me design a character, and they helped me come up with Nathan, our little soft boy. He is a plant lover and works at an old folks home, helping take care of people. He had floofy hair, and the pink shorts were kind of like the thing everybody was like really liking. So we kept the pink shorts, just kept that really spring vibe. It was about this time too that I was really starting to like redesign, or start to design my VTuber and kind of get a design in. And I ended up going initially with this design here. You can see that there. Very similar to what I have currently, but a little bit different. Yep. Here, blocking out my colors. And then I wanted to do some Pokemon Sailor Moon ideas. What if like Pokesenshi? And Jigglypuff is my favorite. I love her so much. She has a special place in my heart. Me and my mom. So I had to do her first. And I love her little sass pout. This was 10 years. 10-year anniversary of me and my husband. Well, at the time boyfriend, but now husband. So yeah, uh, planning out a 10 marker challenge, playing around with chibis. I love this chibi. I wish I could draw chibis like this all the time, but for some reason my style fluctuates so much. So much. Um between all of this. So then here I was designing different types of fairies, trying to limit my palette, trying to do a 2, 3, 4 marker challenge um, that were really popular at the time. So I was like really just trying to play around using the markers and trying to do like a painter style, limiting my colors. Uh, trying to do thirst traps. More thirst traps because, you know, more mermaid. Not really a lot to say about these pages, though I will say I do like these two for some reason. I don't know. Um, I don't know if it's the color that I liked a lot or just the simplicity of it, but they were super cute. More sketches. Trying to draw more body type. And then of course, this is not pumpkin spice, using my little Halloween mascots that I created for myself just to kind of give me something to draw. And then of course, more chibis. Love this right here. If this doesn't say happy marriage, I don't know what does. Planning out a big art project that I was doing. I ended up doing this illustration on a bigger paper and planning out things while also developing the characters on there. This character here, I ended up naming her Marisol for another story idea that I had to possibly turn into a webtoon. Um, as you can see here, I was just playing around with her design, her colors. And then here I was drawing another project for my grandparents, talking about roots. And these were also sketches that I was doing for a commission. And they ended up being super cute too. This is another one of my favorite pages. This one here, this character design. I was really wanting to design a villain, and I don't know, I love the idea of this pinstripe suit. It screamed Cruella de Vil to me, and I yeah, she's fantastic. Drawing some more things here, drawing a friend of mine. And at this point, you can kind of see where I was starting to just kind of run out of ideas of how to fill the page. So I was just kind of like letting myself, and then this page broke off, but I was just kind of winging it at this point, trying to figure out how to fill pages. Now, I love this one a lot too. Um, However, I didn't like the composition because I left all this empty space here. And to this day, this page, even though I love it, it still bothers me because of all this empty space that I have right here. As we can see here, drawing more poses. This is another page, again with my OC Andromeda, that I like. The idea was there, but the execution just did not do justice because of all the empty space here, and this empty space bothers me. Don't ask me why, it just does. Also, I could have drawn this a little bit better, but hey. Which leads us to our final page, which was my Calavera form for my persona Sugars. And that is the last of this sketchbook, of sketchbook 16. This is something different, a different type of video that I was thinking about doing. But given the goal that I've given myself, I really just kind of want to stop trying to be perfect. That's another thing that I really wanted to stop with this year, was stop trying to be perfect and just do. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just doing. So hopefully going through these old sketchbooks and making these videos helps me in the next month to finish this one finally, so that I can start a new sketchbook and start drawing more traditionally. Um, it's kind of a hard balance to do traditional and digital, but I'm trying to work on it as everyone else is, I'm sure. But like I said, the goal here is to finish this by the end of May. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for sticking around, and thanks again. Till next time. Bye bye.